Effectiveness of the differentiation of math centers on achievement. Amanda Price, ETL 806, Fall 2017. Hello, my name is Amanda Price. I teach 3rd grade math at Eubank Elementary School in Pulaski County, Kentucky. My research is on the effectiveness of the differentiation of math centers on student achievement. As a former 1st grade teacher, I have always used centers for reading and math in my classroom. As a new 3rd grade math teacher with students of different levels, I wanted to take centers a step further by differentiating the centers to meet the needs of all my students, despite their learning levels. The purpose of this study was to determine the effectiveness of using differentiated math centers versus regular math centers on student achievement. Research questions. I used 3 research questions to guide my study. The first question was, what is the impact of differentiated math centers on student achievement? To answer this question, I used pre-assessments and post-assessments each week to determine student growth in the differentiated math center versus the control group. The second question was, what are the attitudes toward differentiated instruction? To answer this question, I gave out an anonymous attitude survey to students in the sample group at the conclusion of the 10-week study. The final question was, what are strategies that teachers can use to differentiate math centers? To answer this question, I sent out a questionnaire to all elementary math teachers in 3rd through 5th grade, asking what strategies they felt were successful for differentiation. Literature review. To evaluate the effectiveness of differentiated math centers on student achievement, it is necessary to first analyze certain aspects of the differentiation of math centers in the classroom. To begin the study, a literature review was completed. 3 themes were discussed throughout the literature review. First, the success of the use of technology for differentiated instruction was analyzed. Second, the effectiveness of using centers in the classroom was evaluated. Finally, current differentiation strategies that have shown promise in the actual classroom were stated. Technology in the classroom. The first literature review theme was centered around technology. Since 21st century learning skills are now a major part of education, it is important to understand the effects of technology in the differentiated math center. Using technology in the math classroom has shown positive effects on students' motivation. Technology use in the classroom enhances student achievement. Also, technology can be used successfully in cooperative groups through the use of cooperative learning games. Effectiveness of learning centers. The second literature review theme was centered around the effectiveness of learning centers in the classroom. The research showed that learning centers promote achievement in both reading and math classrooms. Research also determined that learning centers are useful tools for inclusion in the regular classroom. Although learning centers are useful and successful for promoting achievement, teacher attitudes play a major role in the effectiveness of the learning center. Successful differentiation strategies in the classroom. While there are undoubtedly numerous differentiation strategies in the educational world today, 3 successful strategies were reviewed: individual learning styles, cooperative learning, and student choice. Using individual learning styles in the classroom has been shown to have a positive impact on student achievement. Cooperative learning has been shown to produce higher scores than students working independently. Furthermore, student choice, despite its time constraints, produces great success in student achievement. Methodology. This research involved both qualitative and quantitative data collection techniques. Qualitative data was used in the form of a teacher questionnaire. Quantitative data was used in the form of pre- and post-assessments and student surveys. Participants of this study included 50 third-grade students and 32 third through fifth grade math teachers across the district. Students were randomly split into two groups of 25 students. One group was the research group, and the other group was the control group. Materials used for this research were pre- and post-assessments for each unit of study, a questionnaire for math teachers, and a student attitude survey to be used at the end of the study. To begin this study, a questionnaire was sent out district-wide to all elementary math teachers in grades 3 through 5, asking for successful differentiation strategies. The researcher then took the strategies and found the top strategies listed and would use those in the math centers. Each week, for 10 weeks, a new math standard was taught. Before the standard was taught, a pre-assessment was given to both groups. The results of the pre-assessment in the study group were used to place students in groups based on their performance. Differentiated math centers were implemented all week in the study group, while regular math centers were used in the control group. A post-test was given at the end of each week. At the completion of the 10th week, an anonymous student survey was given to the students in the sample group to determine their attitudes towards the differentiated math centers. To ensure that the test was anonymous, a proctor gave the test. Results. Prior to the start of the study, a questionnaire email was sent out to all elementary math teachers in grades 3 through 5 in the district asking what differentiation strategies they have used that were successful in the classroom. 96% of teachers stated that implementing technology was a successful strategy. 83% listed ability grouping as a successful strategy, and 90% listed mixed ability partners as a successful strategy. Those strategies were used during the math centers. After the 10-week study was completed, pre-test and post-test were examined for both the control group and the experimental group. As you can see from the pre-assessment graph, both groups showed similar averages for pre-test each week, averaging within 5% of each other. The post-assessments show a higher gain in achievement scores for students using differentiated centers compared to the control group. Though the difference is not significant, the sample group outperformed their peers each week, if only by a few percentage points. In addition, results from the student survey concluded that 22 out of 25 students, or 88%, enjoyed participating in the differentiated math centers. Discussion. Results of the study supported that differentiated math centers could be effective at increasing achievement in the math classroom. Upon the reviewing of data from this research study, students who participated in the differentiated math centers consistently outperformed their peers in the control group on the post-assessment, though the difference was not significant in percentage points. Furthermore, the results of the survey given at the end of the study indicated that most students enjoyed participating in the differentiated math centers. Results cannot be generalized to all classrooms because the study took place using only a small sample of students. The time frame of the project also needs to be considered, as this study only lasted 10 weeks. Furthermore, this study took place in only one small school in a southern Kentucky district. Further research is required using a larger sample size and extending the study for a longer period of time to prove the effectiveness of the differentiation of math centers on student achievement. References. These are the references referred to in the literature review. References continued.